Righto, hello there, you beautiful, beautiful people, and welcome to the tier list action. The tier list bonanza is going to be in. I'm going to be trying this. I'm not too used to doing the kind of just chatting streams in usual. So I'm kind of like curious as to how this will go overall. I think I've done like a single tier list, and I think that was off stream as well. So I'm kind of curious as to how this will go like on stream in itself. So without further ado, let's do this. Bam. Bam. So we have a couple of tier lists here and there. There is many different kinds of tier lists I've gathered here. If you have some tier lists, feel free to share them as well. I will take a look at them and I will do the thing. But yeah, so I have some Mario 64, some Final Fantasy, some consoles and console controllers. There is some fruits. There is Zelda, a big list of MMORPGs that I'm kind of interested in trying out, because there is a lot of good games, there is a lot of bad games. So yeah, I will definitely take a look at this one today. There is a shonen list, which has a pretty good list. It's not like extensive. There are quite a few missing here and there, but it's quite a good one. There is a Mario Party list, a Final Fantasy character list, a Kingdom Hearts list, a Switch games list, an RPG list. Good lord, this one, I don't think I'll be able to do this one on stream, but we'll see. Maybe for a second one. We'll see. And there is a veggie list. We'll see in which order we'll do these. For now, we are going to be hopping onto the Super Mario 64. All right. So let's start with the beginning. Let's try to go in order of the different things here. So this one is 4th. I think this one is 6th, but I don't remember which one is 5th though. This one is the last one. TikTok Clock is the wait, where's TikTok Clock? Ah, there it is. It's the second to last one. This one is before Lethal Avalanche. Bomb Battlefield is right here. This is not Bomb Battlefield. This is this. I think this should be pretty close. Oh wait, no, it's not the right one. There we go. This is on the same page. Bam, bam, bam. This is before. Let's see. This one is before all of the rest here. This one is not on the second room, and this one is on the second room as well. All right, we should have like a pretty good. No, these are after. These are after because you unlock them with the doors. All right, there we go. So, Bomb Battlefield. Where do we place Bomb Battlefield? I think I'd place this in A tier. Bomb Battlefield is a solid playground to try your new moves. Well, to try your moves around, to fight your first enemies, to try the cannons and whatnot, and you can do every single star in there without ever requiring the wing cap if you're good enough. So I would place this in A tier. The only issue I have with it is the cannons actually do break a lot of stuff, and the balls that fall from the sky are really egregious at times. But otherwise, very solid stage. All right, Form's Fortress. I would place Form's Fortress in A tier as well. Form's Fortress is interesting in that there is a lot of different decks and different different like kind of techniques you can do for accessing like most of the stage, and even things like the owl are not necessarily required, as you can like get to the cage in so many different ways, be it through the triple jump from the platform itself and then just wall kicking to get to the cage, or going through all the way up the tower using Mario Cam and just long jumping straight to the cage. There are so many ways to this. It's a really interesting stage, and I would think its only flaw is there are lots of like really weird things about it. Like, what's the mail cap for? Like, there's no point for the mail cap being there. The also the small plank, like the plank that you have to kick and to the plank you have to kick is not used at all. Like it's really underused and not that well explained actually. So yeah, I would place this in A tier. You'd place this in B tier, Joe. Interesting. Why? Why would you place this in B tier? That's interesting. This one, though, I would definitely place in B tier. While the slide is fun and the... Actually, you know what? I should place a C tier just below. At the row below. Bam. There we go. No. And let's change colors to this. And this is going to be this. Bam. I would place... Cool Mountain in B tier. Because while there is a lot of interesting mechanics to it, a lot of it feels really tedious. The getting the penguin cub all the way to the mother, having to go back through the elevator to activate the ball bomb. Then afterwards, like getting to wall kicks will work is a bit of a pain. Like every single star that I can think of about this place is really not that fun. Those are kind of easy, but it's really not that fun overall. I would place Jolly Roger Bay. Is that Jolly Roger Bay or is that the other one? I always mixed up the two. I would place either way. The two water levels in the same place anyway. So while those water levels have like some interesting stars, like the eels. The eels are kind of interesting to do altogether, and the submarine disappearing into the red coins are kind of cool to them. The rest of the stars are either like just chance, like you're just going to get zapped by the chest and you have like to do trial and error to get every single one gone. The other ones like don't feel that great. There's only one star that is kind of fun to do in this one in particular. That's the one where you can literally just frame tap alongside like a spike, and you can reach the star that you're supposed to get through a cannon there. That's the only interesting one I would say in this one. But yeah, Coco Mountain is a little bit better than these two, but these aren't as bad as to put in C tier, I would say. Big Boo's Hunt, I would say, is a very solid A tier. Big Boo's Hunt is... Even though like it can be a little bit tedious when you don't understand the layout at first, because well it's made to be labyrinthic, and it's made to make you like, wait, where do I go? What do I do? Where are those ghosts? You can bypass most of its restrictions by knowing what to do. So you still have the opportunity to discover things, to get intrigued about like the entire area. But at the same time, when you know what you're doing, this place is actually really fun to play through. The only thing that prevents it from being S tier, in my honest opinion, is the roof. Having to get to the roof in order to get the star is one of the most garbage things about this game. And it's the only thing that prevents it from being S tier, I would think. That's it. That's the only thing that would prevent it from being S tier. Alright. Shifting Sand Lands. Where would I place you? You made tier list and none of them made it to S tier. I have one I'd put to S tier. I have one I'd put to S tier. Shifting Sunland is an A. Shifting Sunland is a definite A. Very fun to play through. There's many ways to go about like the different stars. Be it like through the pylons, on the top of the pyramid, or just by going inside the pyramid itself and then getting to the different locations through different techniques. Very fun stage. Good lord, I don't know what's happening to me. And maybe a third one. No, we're good? We're good. Alright. Hazy Maze Cave is a solid B. You rate it based on if you enjoy moving around in the area. Well, in that case, Bomb Battlefield would be S tier in that front. Like, Bomb Battlefield, you can move everywhere, however you want. You even have like a wing cap in there. It should be S tier in that front. Because that's just really bad. Nah. No you. No you. No challenge though? I mean, you can create those challenges yourself. Like if you want like a little bit of challenge, you can try getting the Chain Chomps star without activating the Chain Chomp. If you want to get a little bit of challenge, you can try getting the ring star without using the wing cap. There is challenge if you're willing to do so. All right, but yeah, Shifting Sunland is really interesting. I like the pyramid concept, and of course Time Rock is a decent boss. So, all right, you are going to be in B tier. Well, actually no, I'd put it in A tier as well, because there's quite a few things you can do. You can move around pretty easily, and the shell is not exactly required. You can do all kinds of shenanigans to get across the stage. It's a really fun one to do, and one I usually enjoy going through whenever I do a crowd control. All right, Tall Mountain is B tier. There is some good things about this stage, and some parts that are cheesable to make it so much more bearable, but there are spots. If you bonk just once, you fall all the way down and have to redo all of the things again. It's pain. It's not good, but I'd say it's worse than Jolly Roger Bay and the other. Gateway XP. for banjo. No, Joe is B for butt. All right. So here is my sole and unique S tier in this entire tier list. Wet dry land is a really, really interesting concept. From the water levels being different depending on wherever you land on the painting, for like the different zones that you get and that you can get without necessarily the need of a use of a cannon. The plethora of secrets that are inside this stage. It's a really, really fun one, filled with challenges, filled with goodies, filled with everything. I love this stage so much. All right, Tiny Huge Lands, S tier. Just kidding, it's in F. Garbage level, do not play. I don't want to ever see this level ever again. I hate Tiny Huge Land. I just no. Let's just say go with the West level of Master 64, you got the S tier. No. All right. Now that this is done, C tier. C tier is this one here. This stage is pretty much Cool Mountain, but worse. There's like literally no interesting things about this part. There's one interesting one with the igloo. But the rest is pretty bad. The snowman is just bad overall. Like this stage is not fun. There's like a couple of easy stars, but that's pretty much it. It's either not challenging or frustrating. So I would put Cool Mountain in C. Let's start figuring it out. Yep, yeah. TikTok Clock is in A. A very, very solid A, just behind Thumps overall. Lots of really interesting techniques you can do. Lots of tiny little cheeses here and there. The fact that you can make either the clock stop, the clock go at double speed, or to make it slower depending on the times you enter it in. Lots of very interesting concepts and techniques. The only thing that just holds it back is the fact that dropping down once can be very punishing, and the camera can be really bonky and really weird with invisible walls. So yeah, that's its biggest problems, I would say. Like, it's really hard to see everything, but a lot of the concepts that are in this level are also like just brings it all the way back up. It makes up for the cons. And finally, I would put Rainbow Ride as B tier. B tier, just below Haze Maze Cave. Rainbow Ride has one main issue. Oh, no, you go here. Rainbow Ride has one main issue. The carpet ride. The carpet ride is its biggest problem. It's pretty much like a concept that should be alright, but it relies too heavily upon it. What do you mean acrophobia? There is like a mansion, there is a desert, and there's a lava land there. It shouldn't be too high here. But yeah, so I would say Rainbow Ride is a solid B tier. it's not the best because of the carpet ride. It's like there is way too many stars locked behind the carpet ride that you can technically bypass, but the trick to bypass the entire carpet ride is extremely rough. Extremely rough. Acrophobia is the fear of heights. I mean, there's TikTok clock in Performance Fortress. Those are pretty high as well. Big Boost Hunt is one of your top 3. It's a solid stage. It's definitely a solid stage overall. But yeah, that would be my rough placement for the main courses in Mario 64. But there is a couple of stages that are not in there that I still want to talk about a little bit. Bowser 1, for example, would be in A tier. I would put Bowser 1 in A tier overall. You can move so much with it, and it's really fun to go around when you understand like how to bypass most of the things. Like there is a certain like satisfaction to jumping like the moving platform part all the way to the wooden platform in Bowser 1, and then afterwards going through the staircase without activating the switch. It's a really satisfying one. Hey, down 1, 2, 3. Hi there. The Princess Peach slide would be in B tier for me. While it is like an interesting concept, to have 2 stars, like one for completing, one for doing it in a certain time. The fact that you can cheese the entire thing, or that well, it is what it is. Like it's way too small. It's way too simple for it to be like a proper A tier stage. Next, the aquarium would be C tier. It's pretty much just find a coin, get them. That's it. Same for the wing cap stage. Well, both wing cap stages actually. 23 is in this tier too. Yes. You as well, you as well, Kazam. You as well. All right, Bowser 2 would be A tier as well. The reason for that is there is this great thing about just being able to zoom around while using the lava to bypass most of the obstacles here and there. But the one problem is with its red coins, because a lot of red coins required you to backtrack in order to be able to collect them. Mainly, for example, the elevator one. The elevator one is the one I have the most issues with. But yeah, so Bowser 2 would be in solid A tier alongside Bowser 3. Bowser 3 is really satisfying to do when you understand like how to deal with the elevator. The elevator, the lift, the arrow lift. Well, the arrow lift section rather. Knowing how to pull off on that section and to get to that pole at the end is really satisfying to do. Solid A tier. What next? Oh right, the Mal Cap stage. I would put it in B tier. It's a really interesting one that teaches you like that metal can actually just deal with currents, can be used underwater, and that is completely invincible. It really does its own thing well, though it is again too simple. And finally, the Invisible Cap stage would stay in B tier as well, below the Mal Cap. Actually, no. I would put it in C. I would put the invisible cap in C tier. The reason for that is there is no purpose for the invisible cap in this stage. There's like zero purpose for it. You can of course like use it at the end to get the star, and so they're like, oh yeah, you can traverse through these, but it has no point. Like the stage is empty. It's empty as heck and painful as heck because of the different elevators being used. So yeah, I would definitely place the invisible cap in C tier. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. All right. So with that, I think that's pretty complete. I think I've talked about all the stages, right? Yeah, I think I've done that. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much my tier list for Mario 64. All right. Which one do we tackle next? Do we tackle Final Fantasy, consoles, console controllers, fruits, or Zeldas? I kind of want to try going for Zeldas next after Mario. Well, I'd be fine with Final Fantasy for a change of pace. But there's a lot of Zeldas to do, so maybe if I do that earlier, that would be better for me. Fruits? Alright, that's also a possibility. There's going to be a lot of fruits I've never eaten though, so be aware. Nintendo 64 controllers this year, we know we still like his tutor today. I will not say I have a tier in my mind already for the Nintendo 64 controller. It's not as bad as you might think I am thinking of. That's all I'm going to say. All right though. I am going to add one whoops. Add a row below. And I'm going to put a never eaten tier. Yeah. Alright. So let's do the fruit tier list. So strawberries. Strawberries are a solid B for me. I like the taste of the strawberries, but I don't really like the texture in itself. You have to use something else. Like I always have to use something else, like a little bit of sugar or a little bit of whipped cream, in order to fully appreciate like the taste of strawberries as a fruit. As taste, I love it, but as the fruit and the texture of the fruit itself, not so much. And I always have these issues with the tiny little grains on it. But I never want to be seen as this tiny little obsessed dude that just removes every single grain from a strawberry. I am not going to do that. All right. I think this is raspberry, right? Raspberry would be in B tier as well for me. Right? This is raspberry, right? And not blackberry. I don't see blackberries. Oh no, there they are. Blackberries are here. So yeah, I like raspberries. Well, actually, I should place both of them here. Blackberries and raspberries are pretty much the same thing for me. They're pretty tasty. And still have some issues with the texture, but I would say I have less problems with both than I have with strawberries. The grains on strawberries, the seeds on strawberries, I just cannot. I just cannot. I love the taste, but yeah. Alright, that, I do not know what this is. I've never eaten that. Never, ever, ever eaten that at all. So I wouldn't be able to tell. What is this? Does anybody know? I'm gonna zoom out, zoom in a little bit more. But does anybody know what this is? I have no idea. So I'm going to put it in never eaten. I don't know. Wait, no, this is raspberries. So what is this? These are raspberries. Plums or dates? Could be dates then. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't see dates anywhere, so you might be right. You might be right. Oh, if you want an S tier, that's definitely S tier for me. Godly taste, so good whenever you can eat it. I just munch these for an eternity if I just could. Melons are just perfection for me. I'd go straight up for this every single time. Are we basing them off being just completely alone and not at all as ingredients? A little bit of both. So things like the taste, the texture, the possibility to cook it into something else. Like for example, if you couldn't use those strawberries with whipped cream and whatnot, I'd put it in C tier. But I'm considering that you can use other things to eat them with. Alright, lemon is A tier for me. I love lemons, and it can be used for so many things. Fish dishes, just being able to drink it all overall. It's just a shame that I cannot eat too much of it. Like, lemons are a little bit limited for me because of my digestive problems. If I get too much lemons, I just can't, you know. How would I say this? Yeah, it's something delicious that goes with a lot of things, but you have to, yeah, I have to hit it with moderation. Amazing ingredients alone, not so much. It's actually no, even alone, like when you get like some when you get some lemon juice, that's actually pretty good. You can even make lemonade out of it. Like you did lemonade, darn it. I would put tangerines the same one. Oh, yeah, tangerines here. These two would be A tier as well. Well, oranges and tangerines are in the same tier for me. Lemonade is not alone. Yeah, but that's what I mean. There are so many things you can make with lemons, and even lemon juice alone is good as well. Make a funny face when you eat lemons. Yeah, you can also dilute the lemon juice if it's too much for you. Like it is an amazing fruit that can be used for pretty much anything. It's A tier, solid A tier. Orange would be S if you didn't have to peel it. Actually, I would place oranges below tangerines. Tangerines and mandarins are so much better than oranges, because oranges, the quarters of oranges are often very painful to get apart, whereas the tangerines and mandarins are really just you just peel it off and then you can just like remove the quarters by themselves without too much of a mess. But oranges are really bad on that front. They're really painful to eat. And I prefer the taste of tangerines anyway. Yes. There is no question about it. Melon S tier. Are these Dorians? If this is Dorians, I'm putting this here. This This fruit has no reason of existing. It stinks. It tastes bad. There is nothing you can use it with. Just get it out of here. Is that pistachio? Is it pistachio? If it's not Dorian's and it is pistachio, I would put it in C. If it's Dorian's, I'll put it in F. All right, dragon fruit I've actually never eaten, so I cannot put a tier on it. That's dragon fruit, right? I'm not. Dorians are F, they're awfully not a sunshine. All right, apples. Why is there so many apples? In any case, apples are up there. Behind melons, but apples are up there. Yeah, I would put it in this order. I would put it in this order. The problem is, actually no, I would put it in this order, this particular order. This apple here is great for a lot of applications, be it using them as like things for like apple cakes, well, apple pies, or by using them for juice and whatnot. These are great for eating. Like, these are so juicy, so tasty when you eat them like straight from the fruit. But these are actually, these ones I would put in A. I like apples, but these ones I don't know. These ones feel bad compared to the rest. Alright, what is this? Is this bananas? This is green bananas and bananas, huh? I would say this. I really don't like banana. Well, actually, I wouldn't even say this. I really don't like bananas overall. Maybe the only redeeming point for these bananas here is like banana splits. When put apples high, a good apple is really good, but a bad apple ruins apples forever. Okay, so you might be right. I think I might place this apple here then, because this is the bad apple of apples. This is pretty much the bad apple of apples. Bananas are S. I hate bananas. I just cannot stand the taste, the texture, anything of bananas. But the only thing that redeems it is sometimes when you mix it with apples into well, mashed apples and whatnot, it's all right. It can be fresh bananas, anything else. Maybe banana splits. Banana splits are good because there's ice cream with it, but yeah, that's a D tier for me. I wouldn't. If I have the choice, I will not eat the banana. All Roy T. Blackcurrants. I would put this in C tier. Banana's a funny shape, that's a plus. Well, the funny shape stays out of my mouth. Blackcurrant is C tier for me. The reason for it is, as a juice, as a lemonade kind of thing, or as a yogurt, like, the taste in itself is good, but the texture of the fruit is not that great. Like, I really don't like eating blackcurrant from the fruit itself. It's not made to be just eaten like that. It's really not. Wait, no, that's not blackcurrant. What is this then? This is blackcurrant, right? Isn't that some other type of cherry? Maybe. By the way, cherry would be the same for me. I don't like eating cherry from the fruit itself, but the taste is great. Peach. Pretty much the same as cherry for me, but below cherry. On those blueberries? Ah, you might be. Oh yeah, you might be right. You might be right. So this is blackcurrant, this is blueberries. Yeah, I don't like eating them. I don't. I like the taste. I like the taste, but I hate like eating the fruit itself. I hate the texture of the fruit, and so that's for all of them. I would not eat the fruit at all if given the option. Yeah, even cherries. That's the worst part about it, is that cherries are used in so many patisseries, and I hate that. I hate having fruits in my patisseries. I can handle strawberries, but cherries are a big no-no for me. I don't know what it is, so I would put it in here. Coconut, straight up A. Can be used in so many things. Be it like normal cooked foods, normal meals, just as a milk, can be used as desserts, like in patisseries, in a lot of things. I would even place this like above oranges, but not above tangerines. Are those lychees? Maybe. I've never eaten some, so that would be still in that front. What is this? Is this mango? No. That's papaya, right? What is this? This doesn't seem like dragon fruit. This doesn't seem like... This is pomegranate. Isn't papaya orange? Maybe. Oh, wait. No, this is a mango. This is mango. Which I would place in C tier as well. Not so keen on the texture, but the taste is great. Pineapple I would put in D above the banana. I am not fond of... Actually, no. No, no. No, I would put in C tier. Slightly under the mango. The texture is bad for me. The taste is somewhat alright. Pineapple is great dried. I will. Yeah, that's a good point. Pineapple is great dried, and can be used in a lot of mixed juices, like with oranges, lemons, apples, and plenty of other good things. So I would place pineapple over peach, but below cherries. Actually, maybe here. Yeah, maybe here. That would be much better as a whole. Blackcurrant is slightly over pineapple. All right. The pamplemousse. How do you even call them in English? We call them pamplemousse. How would you even call them? I think I've seen the word before, but I don't remember it. Grapefruit? That's interesting. I would put those in B tier below these apples. They are great for juice, and their texture is alright. Their texture is alright. not exactly perfect, but it's something you can eat. And with sugar, it can be pretty tasty. Pineapple is a B for you. That's I can understand it. Like pineapple is decent. Is decent. All right. Watermelons. B tier above these apples. I like the texture of the watermelons, but there's a big but here. Watermelons just feel like water to me. Their taste, plain up water. It's really hard to, like, if I wanted to eat water, I'd eat ice instead. That's pretty much it. It's just water to me. So the texture is A tier to S tier. It's very much like melon, but the taste, nah. That's a B tier for me, dog. All right, these ones I have never eaten. What are these? Because I've eaten these kinds of melons before, but these kinds of melons never. That's interesting. Grapes. Grapes are a solid A tier behind coconuts and oranges, and that's all kinds of grapes. Really solid fruit that can be used for all kinds of things. I'm not fond of alcohol, so I can't put it in S tier for that. But there are lots of things you can do with it. Be it cooking, be it just eating alone, juices, yogurts. Like it did so many good things you can make with it, and it's so tasty. It's so tasty. I live in a grape heavy area too, so the grapes here are delicious. Like I live in a place where we make wine and champagne. In France, there is a lot of wine and champagne like fields here. It's really tasty. I would put the green lemon. Well, I put lime. Actually, I put lime on the grapes. Actually, even in B tier, I would say. Yeah. That's the biggest problem here is I cannot eat lime. Or well, I cannot drink and do things with lime as much as you could do with lemons. This is pretty much we have lemons at home. That kind of thing here. It's kind of good when you mix it with other things, but it's not. Yeah, why would you even put it below grapefruit? It's a great fruit altogether, but it has to mix with other things in order to be viable. Hopefully my kid doesn't find out about alcoholic lemonade or apple cider. I know about apple cider. Apple cider was actually one of the only things I used to drink when I was able to drink alcohol. Is lime just good? Yes. Yes. Especially if you mix it with normal lemon. Lime and lemon juice is and actually limes are often used in conjunction to mint to make mojito. So it's decent. It's a good fruit. Kiwis, E. I hate kiwis. No. Bad texture, bad taste. Feels horrible to the touch as well. Like so, it's like you're trying to eat like a small creature. It's disgusting. No. Pears, I would put in the same place as bananas. Alcohols do not taste like alcohol for you to eat it, yeah. Pears I would put in D, above bananas. I don't like... Well, yeah, they're pretty much at the same spot for me. They're pretty much at the same spot for me. Bananas and pears are things I really do not like. Yeah. No, you're right, Doso. You're right. While bananas have some interesting places that they can be used in. Disappear! Yeah, it needs to disappear. I don't like it. Bad texture, bad bad taste. And the worst part about it is that it kind of looks like an apple. So people are like, yeah, you want an apple? Then they give you a pear, you eat the pear, and you're like, bah! So this is pretty much the raisin cookies, the raisin cookies of of fruits. Just take all the good parts from an apple away and boom, you have it there. Pretty much. Pretty much. Alright. I had never had red berries in my life. Okay, you know what? No, I have tasted like some juice. I have tasted some juice out of it and it was pretty tasty. But it's not like... It's not like perfect. It can be made to make like some like red fruits. I don't know how they're called in English, but we have this mix of berries, like raspberries, these kinds of berries, strawberries, blackberries and whatnot. Like all of these kinds of berries all together. Maybe it's called a berry mix. But yeah, so it's pretty tasty, and those are an integral part of that. So I would put it in C tier for this. These are peaches as well. Like unless I'm like mistaking something here, these are pretty much the same. I don't know what it is. Are these like peanuts? No, this is cacao fruits. This is like chocolate. Well, I would say you don't eat the cacao fruit from the cacao fruit itself, but it's not chocolate. It's chocolate. You can't put this in S tier. It's chocolate. It's literally chocolate. A pomegranate. Solid A tier. The only thing that prevents it from S tier is how painful it is to eat. Like, removing all of the fruits, well, all of the things inside it to make it into juice or to just eat it all together is a pain. And that's the only thing that prevents it from being S tier. Pomegranate lemonade is my favorite lemonade of all time. Like this... Like, even if I didn't like the texture and didn't like to eat it, I would put it in B tier just for pomegranate juice alone. Grenadine is made out of pomegranate because this is grenade. This is solid A tier. If not for the pain that it is to eat, I'd put this in S tier. This is a fig, right? I don't like figs. Like the taste, the texture, the things it's been used in, I don't like it at all. Like, it smells alright, but the rest, nah. I would put this like even below kiwi. As for the rest, I have no idea what any of these are. So this would be the fruit tier list. That one would be papaya, or this one. I have no idea for any of these. I've not eaten any of that whatsoever. The first one should be papaya. Yeah, I've never eaten papaya at all. So yeah, that, I think, would be my fruit tier list overall. The 1 second from... This one? Oh no, this one. This one should be papaya. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry about that, the mic was being a little bit finicky here. There we go. But yeah, so... Starfruit, never eaten that at all. But yeah, that should be the entire fruit tier list. Let me put the completed tier list into another window altogether. All right. What do we go for next? Do we go for consoles? We're going to go for consoles and then console controllers. All right. Or rather, since this one is shorter, let's go with console controllers first. Let's go with console controller first. All right. This is the Wiimote control sideways. C tier. The Wiimote is not made to be controlled to be used that way. It is not made to be used that way, and the only thing worse than that is the is the Joy-Con used sideways. The only thing worse than that is the Joy-Con being used sideways. So yeah, that's pretty much how I would say this, because like the Joy-Con sideways is pretty much the Wiimote sideways, but even smaller and even worse to control. That's it. Alright, the normal Wiimote though. The normal Wiimote, I would put it in A tier. I really love the concept of the Wiimotes overall, and they feel like nice to have in the hands, and being able to move alongside them, or like even being in like in a rested position. Just sitting on a chair or sitting in a couch and whatnot, and just like lazing around and just playing the game without even like using the motion controls. It feels nice. The only things that prevents it from being an actual S-tier controller is the lack of certain buttons and the motion controls not being as good as they should be. Alright, here's one controller that a lot of people would put in here. Just kidding. It's a C tier for me. It's a C tier above. I would say it's a B minus. B minus. For this one. It's a B minus. My main issue I have with it. I have many issues with the SNES controller. The first issue I have is how flippin' flat it is. I hate flat controllers with passion, which, by the way, NES controller is C tier. Because the NES controller is just like the SNES controller, but a better version, an early access version. The second issue I have with the SNES controller is how mushy the D-pad is. Like, when you want to play any kind of game whatsoever with the D-pad, it's hard to use and mushy at the same time. I really, really, really hate the D-pad on this controller. The buttons, though, feel kind of nice, and the color scheme of the European version of the SNES controller is actually pretty cool. But yeah, the buttons feel super mushy. The D-pad feels super mushy and hard to use. It's not a good controller all around. It's a deep B- for the SNES controller. And boom, I would blow up this controller in a heartbeat. All right. Next. And that's going to be an interesting one. Where do you think I would put the Wii U gamepad controller onto this list? Where would you think I'd put this controller onto this list? Evie thinks I'd put it in C? Kazan thinks it's S tier. I would put it in A tier. My reasoning for it is that this controller is actually pretty comfy to use when you get used to it. It's actually super comfy to use, and there is a lot of functionality that has just been completely untapped. Like, the Wii U was not able to use this controller to its full functionality. That's how good this controller is. But the problem is that since a lot of its functionality is still locked to this day, it truly prevents it from being S tier. It's a shame. It's a true shame. It's such a good controller, but it hasn't reached its final form. It was good but not perfect, exactly. It's a great controller, but that was not used to the utmost of its capabilities. That's what I'm going to say about this one. All right, double Joy-Cons. I'd put this above the SNES controller. It is B tier. B tier, not B+, not B-, B tier. Joy-Cons are pretty interesting. I like the concept. I like the concept of having the D-pad as buttons. And the fact that you can actually just separate the controllers to have like a Wiimote style gameplay. But these controllers are garbage when it concerns to stick drift. And Nintendo has done nothing to fix that. Even the latest one still drift to this day. So yeah. B tier, and they stay there. They will stay there because Nintendo is not going to change the different sticks to better sticks. That's not going to change anything. But really cool ideas and really cool things. Just too small for my hands, and stick drift and other issues, delays as well. All right. Nintendo 64 controllers. Where would you put the N64 controller? Dosa is actually putting it in E tier. That's interesting. That's interesting. Evie puts it in S tier. That is also interesting. Would you care explaining why, you two? Would you care explaining why, you two? As for myself, B- tier. I think the N64 controller is much more agreeable, much more comfortable to use than an SNES controller, and that's even accounting for the free hands or something. it is much more comfortable to use than the SNES controller. But the way it is designed actually requires free hands, and I really don't like this. Because the D-pad is actually quite useful in some games now. So it's not usable for anything, and it is a 6-button controller, and I love these. I love 6-buttons controllers. The stick sucks, does not withstand Mario Party, it looks stupid. Yeah, I understand that. The stick is one of the issues I have with it. Though, you have to give credit where credit is due. This controller never drifted. You have to give credit where credit is due. This controller never drifted, even though it like the sticks broke sometimes. It never drifted. You have to give it credit there. And it was the first ever analog stick, so it has an excuse unlike Joy-Cons. Yes. Joy-Cons have no excuse for that drift. Nor does the Pro controllers. And funnily enough, there's actually an action class lawsuit against, I think, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo against the use of the current joysticks in their controllers, in their €70 controllers, because they have been proven to be defective. They have proven to be defective, and they still use them. So yeah, definitely a problem. But even accounting for the stick drift, I would still put those here. Up to 8 here. Because Pro controllers are pretty much Xbox controllers, but slightly less good. Switch Pro controllers are pretty much Xbox controllers, but slightly less good. That's it. That's all I have to say on this. Wii U gamepads. Why? Why did you decide that the sticks above the buttons would be a good idea? Why? This is not how you play a game. The only thing that puts it above, like the NES controller, is the fact that it's actually kind of comfy to have in the hands, but not to play things with it. So this is in there. And finally, the GameCube controller. I am going to be completely roasted in chat. I'm going to be completely destroyed. But I don't think the GameCube controller is better than the Pro controller. I have many issues with the GameCube controller. Its button layout, its D-pad. The D-pad is the biggest flaw of the GameCube controller. The D-pad is the biggest flaw of the GameCube controller. Though, I will have to give credit where credit is due as well. It's super comfy in the hands. The stick having grooves and whatnot is absolutely it's perfect and should have stayed. I don't understand why they removed the groove from the Pro controllers. And whenever you want to use like the GameCube controller for other games, it's not that great because you're lacking a lot of buttons. You're lacking a lot of functionalities that the Pro controllers have. And as a controller in itself, it has not aged well. Like there is a lot of things about the GameCube controller that I love. There's a lot of things about it that I hate as well. The D-pad being the worst of them. The D-pad on the GameCube, the GameCube controller is the worst D-pad to have ever graced the earth. Period. Like, it's too small, it's super mushy, it's hard to use. Just no. No. Alright. So this would be the Nintendo controller tier list for me. There is no Nintendo controllers that are S tier for me. If I had to place all the controllers, I think I'd put the PS1 controller right below the GameCube one here. PS1, PS2 controllers right there. I would put the Xbox One controllers right here. I would put the PS4 controllers actually in B tier because it feels like the PS4 controllers have been like a downgrade compared to the rest. I have not had a DualShock 5 in my hands, so I cannot say. Though stick drift, so I would put it in A still. DualShock 5s also have stick drift, so down there. Actually, I would put the Xbox One controller right here into A+ tier. The only controller I would put in S tier is the current one I'm using right now, the GuliKit King Kong Pro 2. Which is the Xbox One controllers, but with better sticks, better buttons, better everything. So yeah. The GuliKit King Kong Pro 2. Let me find it on the internet. It's the one I've shared on Athens. This one. It is that good. It's kind of costly. It's like the price of a full Xbox One controller, but it is that good. You can recalibrate it on the go without having to download any program. You can mix and match the buttons to whatever layout you want. You can do so many good things about it. It's a Switch Pro controller. It has like the minus and plus. It's a Switch Pro controller, but it has like all of the benefits from all of the from the Xbox One, with better sticks, with better buttons. There is no other controller that deserves S tier more than this one. Like if this one is A tier, no controller is getting close to A tier. That's how good this is. The Xbox Elite 2, I've had an Xbox Elite into my hands, and it's pretty much the same problems as the normal Xbox for me. The controllers, the sticks are prone to drift, and the buttons are mushy. Like, especially over time, the buttons get stuck. That's what I hate about rubber pad controllers. The buttons get stuck over time, and I hate that. And this controller doesn't have this issue. Because the way they do it is that they have like a slight mechanical feeling button that completely replaces the rubber pad and is acting as its own button. So like, for like 70 euros, best controller you can ever get. Period. It's compatible with Switch, it's compatible with PC, it's compatible with Android, and you can link it with direct input too. So just outright the best controller you can ever find. So yeah, if you're looking for a controller, you're in the market for a controller, but you don't want to spend like 30 euros every 6 months because of drift or buttons breaking, just buy this controller. Used to have a Razer controller and they had like mechanical switches that felt so nice, but it always broke extremely easily. Like any Razer product. Guess who's not getting sponsored by Razer? I really don't like Razer products. Mice, keyboards, headsets. Every single time I hear about Razer, every single time I hear about them breaking in 2 months, 2 or 3 months, it's... Before you try to innovate the gaming landscape, fix your shiz. That's all I've got to say. Alright. Here comes another big hitter. Another big hitter here. So, I'm going to make it here. Here. Never played / had. Because there is at least... There's a couple of consoles in there that might fit this this particular one. And the Dreamcast is the first one. I have never, ever had a Dreamcast in my hands. Be it the controller, be it the console itself, be it the games, never played any game whatsoever on the Dreamcast. So I'd be kind of interested in trying that though. Like, the Dreamcast is one of the consoles I'm interested in trying out, especially since there was, like, one of my favorite franchises on it, but I never could play that game. Grandia 2. Eevee's giving hugs. Alright. Oh, the GameCube. The GameCube. There is no other fitting place for this console. The GameCube was banger after banger in terms of games. Super Monkey Ball, Paper Mario, Baton Kaitos, Fire Emblem. There is so many good games. Star Fox Adventures, like Mario Parties. My favorite Mario Party is on GameCube. Like, it's just straight up STR. Smash Bros. Melee. Just stay in here. Wind Waker. Yeah, I cannot think of like bad games on this console. That's how good this one is. Kirby, yeah, right. Yep. GameCube is S tier. You stay here. You're the king of the consoles. It's straight up like that. It's king of consoles. Now that this is out of the way, the N64 is A. The N64 was a little bit weird. It was really hit or miss in terms of some games, but a lot of legendary titles were born on this console. Like Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Pokemon Stadium, like a lot of really insanely good games. Smash Bros. Was born on this console. There was a lot of really awesome games on this console, and I'm looking at it fondly each and every single time I think of it. I would put it in A tier. Alright. Where would you all put the NES? I have a very specific tier in mind for it. Where would you put the NES? Dosa puts it in C. Dosa puts it in C. I see. I'd be inclined to agree. I would put it in C, even C-. There are a couple of games that actually save the console altogether, like Punch-Out and whatnot. But the games were... not that great. A lot of very unfair games, a lot of very, like, Nintendo hard, that tried to be hard but ended up being, like, complete trash. Just, yeah, it's C-. A lot of legendary series were born on it too, but they were completely unrefined at that point. It doesn't have that many good titles. Exactly. If things like Mario, Zelda, Punch-Out, Kid Icarus, Kirby weren't born on there, I would put it in D tier. But it's still a decent console. Well, it's a bad but decent still console. I would say. PS1. I would put it at the same tier as the N64. Maybe it's tough because I'd put it close to N64 and GameCube, but you know what? This is going to be A+. Bam, bam. Both of them are going to be here. And the PS1 and N64 are pretty much the same slot. So you consider N64 and PS1 pretty much the same place. PS2. PS2 was an interesting console. Lots of great games. Lots of great concepts. But not as good as PS1. I spent a lot of time on the PS2 and whatnot, but it suffered through a lot of issues that the PS1 had without not making too much progress over in graphics. I will have to say though, there are some bangers onto the PS2. I love the Kingdom Hearts series. I love Final Fantasy X and X-2. And yes, I love X-2. Even though the story is garbage, I love the game in itself. Yeah, but that's I am thinking of this as a whole library kind of thing, and not just this console can access all the games beforehand, because otherwise the PS4 would be here, and that's not the case. I cannot in any shape or form put the PS4 up here or the PS5 up here. I can't. I cannot. So I'm considering the exclusive games on the console. The PS2 was good on its own. Yeah. This is why it's 8 here. It's not as good as the PS1 and N64 for me. Because when I think of the PS2, I can think of so many bad games. I can think of so many good games, but also so many bad games. So many frustrations I've had with some of the games as well. It's tried to refine like what the PS1 did, but not exactly as much. All right. Now, for one console that is going to be shocking the world, where would you put the PS3? I didn't have as many bad experiences with the N64. No, that's the fun part. I've never had that many experience with the N64. Mario parties were bangers. Mario 64 were a banger. Was a banger. In the free tier. I would put the PS3 in D. I would put the PS3 in D. The reason for it was most of the games that were playable on the PS3 were unplayable. Literally. Things ran at like 15 or 20 FPS. The controller was pretty much the PS2 rehashed into a wireless controller. The game selection on it was alright, but it wasn't stellar. There were a couple of really good really good games, but the good games in that console were either remained in remade into another platforms that were much more playable, or they weren't remade and they still stay unplayable to this day. So yeah, one of the only saving graces on this console is Metal Gear Solid 4, and if Metal Gear Solid 4 is not if Metal Gear Solid 4 is remade one day, the PS3 is officially dead. But yeah, so PS3 is in D tier, and I would even put it in F tier, because this console right here was the entire reason of the graphics race that occurred afterwards. Like, oh, you look at these are like 1080p graphics, but the game runs at 10 FPS, but it's fine, you don't need all of these FPS. I hate this console with a passion, and that should have never happened. Never, ever happened. Alright. Next. PS4 is B. The PS4 is a solid system that has a couple of great games here and there, and the controller is actually not that bad compared to the PS3 and PS2, but it still suffers from like the lack of a proper identity for a lot of games, and a lot of franchises that Sony had on the PS2 and PS1 just outright disappeared or were made worse onto the PS4. It's a good console though. It's a really good console. PS5. Who has a PS5 into their hands? Who has a PS5? Just to get down there. Sega Genesis. Never had one. Never played one. That's it. I've never had any Sega consoles whatsoever. I've never had a single Sega console in my life. Not because I didn't want to, but because I couldn't have. I like that. There was like no real purpose in me purchasing a Sega console by the time I became aware of them. Like the Sonic games, for example, were all available in the Sonic Mega Collection, so I had no reason to play them there. And the other games on the console were just like other platformers and whatnot. I was like, no, I have plenty. In terms of platformers, I was well fed with the PS1 and the PS1, the SNES, and the N64. Which, speaking of, right there, even though the controller was trash, the Super Nintendo had so many good games. So many good games. So many good games. Super Punch-Out, ALTTP, Mario World, just so many good games. F-Zero, that's a good one too. And also a reason why the N64 is also so high here. Yoshi's Island is not in the reasons why I would purchase a Super Nintendo. I am alright with the game, but it's not Game of the Year for me. A lot of people love it. Super Metroid. Super Metroid alone is worth putting it up there. Mario Paint was good too. Lots of really funny ideas for Mario Paint too. Yeah. Man, I really wish that Nintendo puts the Mario Paint music system into a different thing rather than having it into the game itself. Donkey Kong Country, I'm not fond of them either. And hey there, Buck, how are you doing? How are you doing? All right. Disappointed. I know. A lot of people really like Donkey Kong Country games. I prefer Donkey Kong 64. Throw the spears at me, throw the tomatoes, throw the eggs. I am ready. Super Nintendo is your favorite console of all time. It's pretty darn close to the GameCube, but it's at the same point as the N64 and PS1. GameCube for me stays the king. No, Dionysus Rhodes, fresh, get it. All right. Donkey Kong soundtracks, I would say pretty much all of them. David Weiss and Grant Kirkhope were just geniuses overall. But then you have to realize that they also made their best work onto the N64. So if you're just going to put the Super Nintendo up there for Donkey Kong Country, you have to put the N64 up there for Banjo and Kazooie and Donkey Kong 64. Yeah, there's no. Have I played Tropical Freeze? No. I don't have the game. And I don't have a Wii U. So I cannot judge it. Switch. All right. I'm ready. I know where to put it. Where would you all put the Switch on? One thing I'm going to say straight away, this is not S tier, this is not A+ tier. Interesting. B. You're hovering towards B. I see how this goes. Yeah. This is my choice. C tier. The Switch is an interesting console. It has quite a few good games on it. It has quite a few franchises on it. It has the possibility to play indie games on it. It has the possibility of being portable on it. It has an interesting concept for its controller. But it's even worse than the PS3 in terms of it's even worse than the PS3 in terms of power. It's worse. Its controllers have so many issues on top of being like an interesting concept. There are so many games that were just an outright disappointment for me on the Switch. And the only reason why I didn't put them, I didn't put it below the NES was that the NES didn't have that many games. The NES didn't have like that many good games. Paid Online 2, paid bad online 2. That's not just paid online. It's paid bad online. The console didn't even have an RG45 port to just have normal internet. You had to buy a separate accessory to be able to have wired internet. Just why? No. I just can't. I just can't in any shape or form put this above the NES. I honestly can't. This controller, these controllers, these ideas, these games, I just cannot. I have to put it here. I have played somewhere around like 30 games on the NES. 30 to 40 games. Do you know how many games I've willingly purchased on the Switch? How many games in total? Minus 473. Wrong. That's too little, Buck. That's too little. that is too much this time. How many games have I gotten on the Switch altogether? 12 is pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. Not exactly it though. Seven is too little. Way too little. 10 is also way too little. 11 and a half. Too little. I'll take that one as a 14 though, so that's 14. I have 14 different games on the Switch altogether. 11 of them are in my are physical, and 3 of them are digital. So yeah, that's how many games I have played on the Switch. And out of them, 1, 2, 3. Oh no, I have 15. Never mind. I have 15. I forgot Smash Bros. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of them were disappointments. So yeah. That's pretty much why I would place the Switch so far. Like, it really doesn't want me to play the game well. Which ones were disappointments? So Paper Mario. Paper Mario Origami King. Breath of the Wild. Mario Kart 8. And finally, Smash Bros. All of them were disappointments for me. Alright. Smash is a big disappointment for me, yeah. I played against people, yeah. But you have to consider. Please do consider this. We've had Brawl. In terms of a story mode, you cannot compare the current story mode of Smash Bros. Ultimate to be near as good as Brawl's. Then you have the multiplayer component. You have like the ranked system and whatnot. This game has the worst netcode of any fighting game I have ever played. So yeah, not being able to play with friends right next to me just makes the entire thing just worse. I cannot play Smash Bros. Ultimate with friends because of how bad the netcode is. Mario Kart is the same. Mario Kart has the same problem. Like okay, so one of my favorite Mario Karts, like of all time, is Mario Kart DS, because it had so much single player content, and at the same time, the net play on DS was godlike. It was really good for what it was. But Mario Kart 8 has garbage net play. How do you manage to pull that? Brawl? No. Brawl had a better netcode. Brawl had a better netcode than Ultimate. I know because I played Brawl on the NES. But yeah, I want Mario Kart 8 to be out. I want Nintendo to actually just invest the money they get from the Switch Online to actually give like a decent internet experience. Yeah. So yeah, here it is. Switch is in C- for me. All right. Evie does not agree, apparently. But yeah, I'm a big fighting game player. I love fighting games, but this Smash Bros was easily one of the worst I've ever played. And I played the 3DS one too. I prefer the 3DS one over Ultimate. That's how bad it was. All right. Wii. The Wii was a very solid console. Very solid console. But it had its flaws. I would put this one in B+ over the PS4. Hope to be as knowledgeable as I'm not that knowledgeable. I just played a lot of games. Like, the video game world is my entire world. And I am glad to be able to share it. The Wii is an interesting console. It pretty much introduced motion controls into the world of gaming, for better or worse. But it had a lot of great games on it. And as much as I don't like that game that much, Twilight Princess was a good Zelda. It's not my favorite Zelda of all. It's actually rated pretty low compared to the other Zeldas. But it's a good Zelda. It's a good example as to what you can do with the motion controls and whatnot. Wii Sports, bangers. You don't have any idea as to how many hours I've spent on Wii Sports. I was fit as heck. I was fit as heck with this game. Like being into with the boxing or the tennis, you had a darn workout with this one. Yeah, but I am considering only the exclusive titles for Wii. Only the exclusive titles. Because otherwise the Switch would be up here because it has so many good indie titles, but just nah. The console is trash. Alright, but yeah, the Wii has so many good titles, so many ideas, and it pretty much like pioneered the idea of motion controls, and the controller is pretty darn good. Like you cannot like just put it below B+ tier. Shouldn't it get credit for introducing the Virtual Console? But then again, it has like so many different kinds of games altogether. It has like the N64, it has Game Boy, it has like so many other types of games that are available on other consoles. I like the Virtual Console in itself though. Like this was a much better idea than the trash Switch Online thing they've added before. The Wii as an emulation console is S tier. But the Wii as in exclusives only is B tier. B+ tier. I am not like judging with every single console you can. Otherwise, I would put like the Wii and the PS4 up here. The PS4 is an amazing console for emulation. You don't realize it, but the PS4 is actually super amazing for emulation. But yeah, so yeah, Wii is B+. Xbox 360. I have played a couple of games on the 360, and I would put it there. I would put it right here. It has a couple of good games and whatnot, but it's not necessarily one of the best consoles whatsoever. I would put it C. I would put it in C, below the NES. Like there are so little games that are actually worth playing on the 360, and yeah, over there. breaks too much for you to like it. Kinda true. But still better than the Switch. Still better than the Switch. It's below the NES for me. Oh, yeah, it's still better than the Switch for me. Still better than the Switch. It pretty much introduced like free online gameplay. The PS3 was costing money after a while, but this one here introduced free gameplay. Well, actually, no, never mind. It was the Wii that had free online. Both of these had. You might be. You need Xbox Gold, yeah. No, you're right. I'm misremembering. I didn't own a 360, but I had a friend that had one, and I had quite a few games on it. But it was the PS3. I see. Yeah. So yeah, I mixed pretty much everything. But yeah, I cannot put in good conscience the Xbox 360 below the Switch. I just cannot. I cannot put the Xbox 360 below the Switch. It had its issues, sure. But I just can't like put it at PS3 tier. PS3 is going to stay alone on this spot, and by the way, Sega Saturn is going to be here. All right, Xbox One, same. Xbox Series X, same. Xbox, here. You can't put flip below the flop. No. No, you don't. You put the star on the floof and then maybe the thump afterwards. But star first. And you have to put the thump when the star is activated. Alright. This would be my console tier list. The GameCube is king, followed very, very closely by the N64, Super Nintendo, and PS1. The PS2 is not lacking that much behind. Well, yeah, but why would you do this, people? Why would you? But why? But why, Mafloof? Look at this cute little thing. Why would you? Why would you? Why? Dreamcast is SS tier. I have never played the Dreamcast. I've never played the Dreamcast game. I have never seen a Dreamcast game, so... Well, technically Sonic Adventure is a Dreamcast game, But it was also available on the GameCube. And the battle parts added more things, and... And DX had so many add-ons to it, so... Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's... I said you had to do it while the star is activated! Dreamcast had a better version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 than the actual arcade, funnily enough. Interesting. Interesting. No, you did not. You know what you did, and you did not do it correctly. Same for you, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so yeah, this is the controllers and the console tier list for me. Alright, here's another interesting one. Let's do this. Which one do I have? I have a single Atari console. Let me give me just a single moment. Can I actually read the thing from here? No. I dropped something. Ah! Okay, there we go. Yeah, I can't read it from here, but I have like something like a 580 ST or something like that. It's something ST. I couldn't read it from here. But yeah. All right. All right. We are going to be rating these in order, so let's try to rearrange this because they couldn't rearrange things apparently. So 4 is right there. Where is 4? 4 after years. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 2. That's 11. Where's 12? 12 here. 12, 2, 12. 12 Revenant Wings. Well, let's place this one here anyway. 13, 2, 13 Lightning, and there we go. Never played Tier for you. You've never played the Final Fantasy, Kazan. That's interesting. Have you never been like interested in the Final Fantasy? And also Floof has now food. I'll take a little bit of hydration though. Have I played 7 Remake? No. And I don't intend to until the entirety of the game has been released. Alright. Let's go in order. 1. Barely okay. So, my reason for the barely okay here, it's pioneered a lot of ideas into the Final Fantasy era, into the Final Fantasy things, the job system, the enemies. It did a lot for its time. It's a decent-ish game, but a lot of the things it did back in the day are super outdated. And the fact that you cannot like switch jobs or anything, just upgrade them. You're stuck with the jobs you've chosen at the start of the game, and that's... Nah. And the Heroes of Light have like no personality other than just being the Heroes of Light. That's it. So I would put... I think I would even put 1 in the Carbonara tier. It has a lot of issues. It has a lot of issues. I would put it in like C+, or B-, something around that line. I think C+ would be a better call here, because you have 2 B+. Final Fantasy II had some really good ideas, like giving a an identity to the characters, giving a proper story, a proper setting for the players you're going to, well, for the characters you're going to use and whatnot. A lot of great story into its main issue is the grind you have to do for magic levels. Magic levels grind was a pain. It was interesting, but it's a pain. Like, when you have Ultima dealing less than fire, you have an issue. You have an issue. Alright. 3. I would put this... I would put 3 below 2. The job swapping system was also interesting and whatnot, but the story wasn't there. Like, there wasn't like any... Like, they just got back to the oh, Warriors of Light, do the thing, and they just pretty much made 1, but with a job swapping system, which made it better, but it's still B minus. It's still something around B minus. All right. Next is 4. 4 is pretty much the same kind of thing as 2. A minus. The same kind of thing as 2, but the grind for magic is gone, and the story is as tight as ever. Lots of great moments, lots of treasons, characters that die alongside the way, that are like characters you get attached to. You go alongside in a journey and you get attached to, and you lose, and you're like, but like, 4 is an awesome game. 4 is definitely an awesome game. 4 After Years, though, I cannot say. I think this might be one of the only Final Fantasies I've never played. So 4 After Years is in never played tier. 5, super tier. Straight up. 5 has like the same concepts as 4 and 2, with the same ideas as 3 mixed up into one bag. 5 is up there. 5 is very much up there. I know this might be kind of crazy for some, but 5 is up there. Oh boy. All right. Oh boy. The upcoming one. Oh boy. I'm gonna hide. Because I know the tomatoes are coming. I know the tomatoes are coming for this one. I put 6 in C. I'm good. The tomatoes, the fish. Is this all right? Am I okay? Final Fantasy VI is in C tier for me. A lot of the ideas from 5. Ah! I'm not safe yet. A lot of the ideas from 5 were entirely removed in 6, and the privileged 4's system instead. While they did some great things about like the character teams and whatnot, like having like multiple characters all together. I will hydrate in a moment. It felt like a back step in the main gameplay, I would say. Not as bad as... You know what? I will revise my statement a little bit. I think I will put it in B-. Because it still did a lot of things right. It still did a lot of things right. The OST is legendary by that point. The characters were... Well, a third of the characters were actually good, and Kefka just pretty much pulled the entire story from the ground up. But the game in itself is not the super tier people make it to be, in my opinion. In terms of gameplay, I think this is barely okay. All right. 7. Super tier. There's no questioning that. The original 7 is super tier. I have played this game so many times during my childhood. I still love playing randomizers. I still love playing mods on PC with this one. It's a super tier. But it's below 8 in my opinion. 8 is the absolute best for me. My absolute favorite is 8. The only thing that pulled 8 to a bad spot was how broken the combination system was. But as the first time you play through this game, as the first time you play through 8, like you don't necessarily have an idea as to what cards do, what things do and whatnot. So you don't necessarily like have that difficulty broken at that point. But when you do understand cards, this game, you're literally invincible until CD3. Well, until the end of CD3 rather, because you can make Kyoraga from the very start of the game by doing some combination, some small card combination, and you just either one-shot everything or you have like 3000 HP, which won't be depleted until the end of the game. That's it. Alright, 9 is also in that tier. This is pretty much the PS1 tier at this point. This is the mwah tier. I would say 9 is slightly below 7. Slightly below 7. I liked 9 as a whole. The characters were so much better than FF7. The worlds and the minigames were also so much better than 7. But the gameplay when it came to fights is where it is its biggest issue. Because fighting more in order to learn equipments is a pain, and there's a lot of missables that way. You can miss a lot of things in FF9. Just not even if you try to look for things like properly, there are missables if you don't equip the right things at the right moment. If you didn't buy a certain items at the certain time, and if you didn't forge them, you don't have access to them later on. FF9 is a lot of missables, and this is where it just makes it a little bit more tedious than FF7. FF7 is still, like, everything is accessible from start to finish with FF7. Even if you go into Midgar and then you get out, you think that you can't ever get back to Midgar, but you can. You actually can. So 9 is better in a lot of ways, but in terms of gameplay, 7 is still much better. And one of the things I hated about 9 is herder, could ya used Ultima, so now you don't get access to the rest of the map. That was utterly dumb. That was stupid. And I kind of wish that they actually remade 9 in such a way that you had access to a lot more content after Kuja used Ultima in 9 at the CD4. But yeah, that's pretty much it. 9 is a fantastic game, but it has its issues too. 10. Cade is gonna roast me to no end, but I put it in A+. I'd put 10 in A+. I actually think that 10, while it has a lot of content, while it has a lot of it has like a lot of great characters, a lot of great themes, a lot of minigames, a lot of good stuff around it. I didn't like the story as much as the other games. I've always felt, for example, that 10's love story was just 8's love story rehashed into a lesser way. I've always cringed as a child for the what was the name of that forest where they discovered like Jack's sphere. The combat is also one of my is also one of the points I don't like, unfortunately. I don't like the CTB system. Was it the ATB system? What's the no, it's the CTB system. Yeah, okay. So I don't like the CTB system. I much prefer the ATB system. Because a good example of a well-made CTB system, for example, is Grandia. Grandia has a wonderful mix of ATB and CTB. Where you can actually see like the turn order, you can plan for the turn order, but you can also cancel out attacks. There's a lot of depth into Grandia's system, but Final Fantasy X in terms of its combat felt a downgrade from that. Remember, Grandia was a PS1 game, and FF10 felt a big downgrade to that. And as much as I love like the late game of FF10, there's so much content in FF10, so many secrets, so many things you can do. Also, missables. If you miss a certain temple in FF10, you cannot go back to there because you will not have access to the you will not have access to anima. You will not have access to certain things, and you will have to grind to no end to be able to get it back, because that temple is going to be locked by a dark anima at this point. By the time you want to get access, you want to get back access to them. So yeah, just no. It's not super tier for me. It has a lot of awesome points, which is A+. It's still super darn good. But it's not the top of the stack for me. Alright. 10-2. And Cage is going to hate me for it. I know. Cage is going to hate me for putting both of them at the awesome tier. But 10-2 is A-. Minus because of the story. The story and the elements around the story, well, the main story in general, and some side quests were terrible with it. And the Vetisphere system, the dress sphere system, as you call it in English, well, we're pretty much like as Kate often says, like a magical girl show. Wow, just watch these ladies get transformed in real time. Woohoo! But when you put those aside, which puts it down to A tier. When you put those aside, the combat system is actually pretty complex, and there is an insane amount of content in the side quest as well, leading to the Via Infinito and unlocking all of the dress spheres and all of the mini games and Sphere Break is a lot of fun. The Blitzball is a lot of fun. There is so much content into 10-2 that I just cannot put it below A tier. Well, A- at least. I cannot put it below A-. So as much as yeah, the game has its issues, and I agree with Cade. I don't like the story either. The main story and some of the elements of the sub-stories, garbage. Just throw that away and remake the game to be better. And yeah, Yuna being how she is in 10-2 is why. But yeah, I wouldn't throw everything. I wouldn't throw like the game entirely though. Like it's definitely an awesome game that's underappreciated in my opinion. All right. I know this is going to be very controversial, especially, you know what's the worst part about this? Putting 6 below 10-2. I know that there's a lot of people who just I'd be skewered alive if some people knew that I put 6 below 10 too. That's all I have to say. This is going on Twitter, right? Some parts of them will. I think I will leave this one off Twitter. I am not ready for a full-blown crusade on me. All right. Another one that Cade would be going on a crusade with me as well. Yeah. 11 would be barely okay. Barely okay plus. I like 11 as an MMORPG. I like the concepts of being able to macro everything you want and to... then to... like... It's a really good early MMORPG. That's what I'm going to say about it. It's a really good early MMORPG, and it does some things well. It has like a lot of good story, a lot of great bosses, a lot of great raid bosses. Though some of them were outright disgusting. Like if some of the people playing WoW are complaining about like some bosses being hard, or even like FF14 complaining about the bosses being hard, they've never played 11. They've never played 11. There is a raid boss in that game that takes 40 hours to defeat with a full team fully geared for it. It's that kind of an MMORPG. But yeah, so I like most of the concepts in 11. But it can be really clunky to use. I don't mind like the way that they've done the targeting systems and whatnot. I don't mind not having like a menu to use spells on and whatnot. Like Kate thinks that I'm not too keen on 11 because no, there is no WoW style menu and whatnot. It's not exactly because of that. It's because a lot of the systems and whatnot need a lot of adapting to, and a lot of not so intuitive ways of using them. So I like 11, but I don't like it so much that I would place it in awesome tier. All right. 12. Is 11, but single player and bad. Bad story, bad characters, bad gameplay. Yeah, just stay in there. Just stay in there. All right. You went from 10 to 13. 13 is... I'm going to shut up for now. We still have to rank these. Revenant Wings was a much better game than FF12 normal. A nice little strategy game that was on the DS. Was not exactly perfect, but it was much better. It has its issues. The characters were still as boring as ever, but in terms of gameplay, it was much better. All right. Let me translate this one into French. How does translate reign supreme, Reign Supreme. Régnant Maître? I think that would be cool. That would be cool, okay? And Doctor, you're going to regret having created me, so you're going to straight to hell. Ok, there we go. Docteur Robotnik, je vais te détruire, régnant maître. Oui. Docteur, tu vas regretter de m'avoir créé. Et tu vas aller droit en enfer. There we go. I tried to do the shadow voice, but was a little bit hard. But yeah, so 13 now. 13. I'm expecting the tomatoes again. Especially since this is right down here. FF13 is an underrated gem for me. Sure, the story is like in a hallway. Sure, there are some issues with some characters. Oh, hope. Sure, the gameplay is a little bit strange to understand. But there are a lot of insane good story inside 13, and a lot of the gameplay, the gameplay mechanics are really interesting to go through. Like the paradigm shift system is really interesting. I don't know why people don't like the paradigm shift system. Like, I really don't understand. I really don't understand. But yeah. So 13 is all the way up there. That's it for me. Is awesome tier. Not awesome tier plus, but awesome tier. So it's not exactly at the same spot as FF10. FF10 is still much better than 13. 13.2 goes in here. Don't ever play 13.2. Crashes a lot on PC, just is literally unplayable. Has bad story, bad characters, bad gameplay. Just no. If you play 13, play 13 only. And Lightning Returns is Carbonite here below Revenant Wings. The story was pretty bad as well. The gameplay was not that compelling, but still better than 12. You still played as Lightning, and you still like saw some of the characters, but 13.2 was much more unbearable on that front. Yeah, 13.2. There was a moment where I couldn't even finish 13.2 because it had a crash that would happen every single time I tried to go through a certain way, and that way was mandatory to progress the story. So I couldn't finish the game at all. I had to go like through so many hoops to be able to make the game work. So yeah, 13.2, bad game. Don't play. Okay, 14. I'd put in barely okay tier minus. FF10 on PC is awful, never do it. Well, I mean, Kate did the entirety of it, and we managed to fix the issues with cinematics anyway. We managed to fix like the issues he had on the cinematics there. But yeah, so 14. 14, well, it has a lot of great content, a lot of... It still has a very dedicated team working to make it a better experience and make it a better thing to play for all. The start of 14, the entire base game, the entire I think it's not a Realm Reborn, but was it a Realm Reborn that was the first extension? But yeah, the first part of FF14 is boring as heck. If you don't have someone else to play with you, you are going to get bored like no tomorrow on this game. But I hear there's a lot of great content afterwards, a lot of great story and whatnot. I just couldn't get to that. I tried to play like 40 hours, 50 hours onto that game. I still couldn't get to that part. I got bored to no end. So this is why I would say barely okay tier, because it still has a lot of content. It has a lot of things you can do and a lot of fun you can have. But one, you need friends. Two, you need to be patient. But yeah. Also, hello there, Badger. Well, Badger talks. I'm a little bit tired, I'm sorry. It's been, my sleep schedule has been like going bonkers since the OTR run. I was not expecting it to be 9 out of 30. There were so many good clips though from that run though. Same time for travel, nice. FF15 now. I would put 15 in B+. Above 11, but below 10 too. You missed OTR yesterday, yeah. I did an OTR seed yesterday. Oh wait, no, not yesterday, but on Sunday. I did an OTR seed on Sunday. And you missed so many good things. If you go on Discord, or if you check the VOD, I would highly recommend you check the VOD for this one. Because this was not your typical OTR seed. This was Ship of Arcanian. So if you've missed Sunday stream, I highly recommend watching the VOD from Twitch. Or watching some of the clips that were there if you want like a quick peek as to some of the things that may have happened. Yeah, the PC decompiler, yeah. Alright. 15. FF15 is an interesting game that has like the same issues as 14. The start is really hecking boring. But later on, the characters actually get a little bit more depth. The story progresses in a much better way, and there is a certain time skip arc that happens afterwards. It opens so much more afterwards. It's a really interesting. There are really interesting concepts in here. The gameplay combat is good. It is lacking a little bit in terms of minigames though. Like minigames weren't that great. But as a Final Fantasy overall, I think it is a B+. It is a solid B+. It has its issues, a lot of issues, especially at the start. But overall, solid B+. Alright. This would be my tier list for Final Fantasies. For those who are just coming into the stream here, this is my 5th tier list for the day. We have made like a SM64 tier list with the different stages and whatnot, as you can see on the side. Let me zoom in a little bit more. We have done a fruit tier list where melon reigns supreme. Melon and apples reign supreme. We made a gaming console list. Those at the below I've never played, but this is my gaming console list overall. This is my gaming controller list. And unfortunately, well, Nintendo controller list. Unfortunately, none of them reach S tier because there's only one controller that could reach it, and it's a third-party controller. So, yeah. And finally, my Final Fantasy list. Alright. And yes, 6 is barely okay to me. Is barely okay. Not barely okay minus, but barely okay. Barely okay minus would be 3. 3 and 14. That. I know you're not okay with this. I know that 6 is a fan favorite for a lot. But I don't like 6. I don't like 6 as much as the others. Never played it? I would still recommend it. I would still recommend playing through it. The start is good. The mid game is bad. The late game is good. But it's a decent, barely okay game for me. But yeah, that would be it. I much prefer a 2 story over 6. Firion was such a good character on it. All right. One. I'm going to make this one tier list the final one for this week, and we'll keep the other tier lists as ammunition for the next week. Shall we? Because there's a lot we need to do. A lot we need to do. And my voice will not be able to hold it up until then. There's a lot we need to do. When can we throw tomato? Oh, technically. Is it fruit? There we go. You can throw fruit. That's close enough, right? But yeah. So, boots. You can't throw the boots. All right. Here it comes. The Zelda tier list. The Zelda tier list is here. And the first one is Breath of the Wild and goes in F. No questions, no questions. All right, thank you. Breath of the Wild goes in F tier, and Triforce Heroes goes in C. I have a lot of issues with Triforce Heroes, but it's really fun with friends around. Like, it's not as good as Four Swords Adventures. It has so many problems, but it's still fun with friends around. So, barely goes into C from F tier. Below F tier is unplayed/unknown or too similar to also rank. Which some of things like would be BS The Legend of Zelda, Ancient Stone Tablets, where is it? Game Watch. Well, then one would be unplayed unknown. Zelda Game Watch would be there. But yeah. You will be surprised as to where I rank some of them. I will have to say this. You will be surprised. Alright. A Link Between Worlds. A tier. Triforce Heroes should be unplayable tier. I have 2 3DS. I can play Triforce Heroes with myself. As if chat isn't already surprised. I mean, that's a good thing, right? You're getting through the roller coaster with me. And I am the conductor. I am going to put those rails in. Strap on for the ride. Alright. So, A Link Between Worlds is A. It's a really decent it's a really good sequel to A Link to the Past with some interesting gameplay additions, and the fact that you can tackle dungeons in different ways means that you can also tackle some of the puzzles in different ways, some of the encounters in different ways. I like the way they've done the dungeons altogether. I like most of the game in A Link Between Worlds, and I'm really interested in trying out the randomizer for it, because this would make things even better, I think. Actually, Skyward Sword is slightly better than Breath of the Wild, but actually, let me do something here. There we go. Oops. There we go. So this is the Breath of the Wild tier. The most garbage of all Zeldas because it's not a Zelda. As simple as that. It's a main entry title that tries to be a Zelda but that can't be a Zelda. That's all I have to say about it. All right. Stop going up and down. You know what? I'll use the full screen mode here so that we can get a little bit more real estate here. All right. Next game is Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks is an interesting one. A very interesting one. And I would put it in B tier. No licking me. Bah. How so? You've heard it's similar to Zelda 1. It's completely different. It's not. It's nowhere near Zelda 1. And I'm not a fan of Zelda 1, by the way. Just a spoiler there, but Zelda 1 is going to be below Triforce Heroes. But Breath of the Wild is a sandbox game that tries to be a Zelda, but that fails hard at it. That's pretty much how I would describe this. A lot of the concepts they've added into the game were like, okay, you're going to be exploring this place. You're going to be you're going to be looking for that place. You're going to be looking for that place. But the rewards you get from exploring places is not rewarding at all. Like, you don't get anything much else than just another piece of equipment, another fruit. Oh, a shrine! Woohoo! I found one of the 200 ones that were out there. There are so many issues I have with Breath of the Wild. I just cannot put them in a single stream. I'm sorry. I have like all of these other wonderful Zelda games that I have to talk about. I cannot put any more time into Breath of the Wild. It's that bad. Alright, so Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks is an interesting sequel to Phantom Hourglass that tried to shake up things a little bit more with its world traversal system. But also at the same time fails at having like a good gameplay loop, and the items were pretty much uninspired. So it's kind of hard to put like even C+. C+ would be much better, I would say. Because Skyward Sword at least had a couple of interesting items here and there, but Spirit Tracks lacks a lot on that front. It was fun to play still. It was very fun to play with the Spirit Zelda as well, but I'll leave it here. C+, C+, or C, just C. These two are C-. Breath of the Wild style becomes the new norm. I'm not purchasing a Zelda ever again. It's as simple as that. As long as Breath of the Wild is still the main idea behind Zelda, I'm not purchasing a Zelda ever again. It's like Paper Mario. I'm not purchasing Paper Mario at the full price ever again. Like I bought the Origami King for like 20 euros, and I'm still disappointed in it. All right, Phantom Hourglass is a solid A+ for me. I think even an S. I've had so much fun playing through Phantom Hourglass. So many good items, so many... This is one of the games that blew my mind when I first played it on the DS. Because there is this one little puzzle where you have to imprint stamps on the map. And they're like, yeah, how will you, like, there's something on the top screen, there's a map on the bottom. How will you do this? But when you realize that the DS in itself is closable, you just close the DS itself and then reopen it. This blew my mind as a child. This just outright blew my mind. So super interesting puzzles, a lot of great concepts. Iterates well over Wind Waker. Very decent. Very solid game. Its only issue that prevents it from being SS tier is its main controls. Like using the stick to move Link around was kind of weird, but it wasn't that bad. I know that a lot of people would put it in B tier because of the controls, but I would still keep it with S. I didn't have that much of an issue with it. Now, here comes a heavy hitter. One of the games that are beloved by the Zelda community, but I'm not that fond of. Twilight Princess. C+. Twilight Princess has some good ideas. It has some good things. It has some good controls. It has the wolf form. It has... It has so many issues. It has some good items, like the spinning and the boulder were two good items. Two really good items that I'm kind of missing over onto the other games. And Link feels great to control. The last Ganondorf fight was a beauty to behold. But the rest is bad. I don't like Midna. I don't like what they did with Zelda in Twilight Princess. I don't like what they did with the controls with the wolf. I don't like the wolf. I don't like the wolf. I don't like the wolf. Half of the game is trash because of the wolf. Ah. 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 Are we back? Are we back? I don't know why my OBS just hiccuped. Apparently OBS agrees. OBS agrees. Do not talk about Twilight Princess. Just do not ever talk about Twilight Princess. I see the message, Joe. I see the message. Everything is fine. I see my own stream. Alright. So, Twilight Princess C+. I know, I knew you'd be surprised. I knew you'd be surprised. Can you hear me? No. Yeah, there is sound. There is sound. I had to test. There is sound. Twilight Princess is one of the only two games I finished. I see. My condolences. What was the other one? What was the other one? Oh, the next one. The next one is a good one. The Laver, I see. The next one, Minish Cap. Minish Cap is at the same tier as Phantom Hourglass to me. Oh, my condolences. Well, Hyrule Warriors is a game. Minish Cap is S for me. Lots of good mini games, collectibles. Used to play these. If you want me to play through the entire Zelda, you know what? You know what? I could do that for a certain month. You know what? November, Zelda month. November, we do Zeldas. We're going to go through Zeldas. All right. Some of them will be randomized as well. Will take longer than a month? No. I know some of these Zeldas like from the really well. Though there are some Zeldas I won't be able to play, like Triforce Heroes, or that I won't play, like Breath of the Wild. But some of this I will definitely finish in this month. Start tomorrow? No. In November. November I will do that. I will have to prepare a couple of things, so it will take me some time to prepare like the proper assets and whatnot. So, all right. Next one is Four Swords Adventure on the GameCube. Yeah, no, Eevee. I still need to make the proper things to go alongside the Zeldas. I have plans. I have plans now. But I need to make things alongside the Zeldas, and I need to prepare like all of the games. It's going to take time. So I cannot start tomorrow. So next month in November, I will do it. Alright. Four Swords Adventures. S tier. This game, well, S minus. The only things that prevents them that prevents it from being better are two things: controllers and friends. Controllers and friends are the only things that prevent this game from being up there. This game is absolutely awesome. If you have like 3 friends to play with, or like even 2 friends to play with, I had like two GBASP controllers overall. This game is awesome. Like one of the best Zeldas you could ever play with friends. Like straight up. But yeah, you need friends, you need controllers. That's, well, more than controllers, you needed Game Boy Advance SPs, or like normal Game Boy Advances, but you needed the cables at the very least. This is the biggest issue with this one. But it's so much fun that I just cannot put it in A tier. Alright. One that will surprise no one. Wind Waker is up there. Wind Waker is one of the best Zeldas ever made. Period. Too much ask for a game. It's an issue. It's definitely an issue, and this is why it's S minus. Because if the control issue was not there, I would put it in SS tier easily. Wind Waker is SS. There is no other place for it to be. SS tier. I have 4 cables. I have the 4 cables. I have almost the full setup by myself to play Four Swords Adventures. I have 3 Game Boy Advance SPs and 4 cables. I can play. I can play Four Swords Adventures alone. Why Wind Waker so high? Because it's an amazing game. exploration is done so well. The items are really clever and interesting, and not just following the rest of the series. The bosses are super cleverly made. Like, navigation is filled to the brim with secrets and things to find. Characters are amazing. The world looks amazing. Why wouldn't you put this in S tier? Why wouldn't it be that high, Yappa? Why wouldn't it be that high? There's some good story as well. Like, even side stories are really compelling. Like, when you get back to the grandma. When you get back to your grandma and you talk to her, you get back to her, she's ill. Then you need to find something to help her get cured. It's compelling. Even the side stories in that game is compelling. Just there's no other place for it to be. Like Twilight Princess Small, actually finished it, but wait, didn't you say that you only played like two Zeldas altogether? Or was it someone else? And I'm being dumb. This game is amazing! And deserves a remake. This one is the original Four Swords. And I would put A Link to the Past and Four Swords 1 at the same... Actually, no. This one would be... Just a minute, also rank. So this one is... even B. I would place Four Swords in B. Like the Game Boy Advance Four Swords. FSC can be played today. It can actually. I think people have made it possible to play Four Swords Adventures on Dolphin. I don't remember exactly, but it's still playable. It's still playable. You can even play alone with a GameCube controller. It's not as fun, but it's still playable. Alright, Four Swords, B-. The advanced game was not exactly as purchased as this one, and the puzzles in it weren't as great either. Four Swords Adventures was so much better than this one. Alright. Don't play Zelda for co-op and making it needed awful. Different strokes for different kinds of folks, I guess. Oracle of Ages and Seasons. I will put them in the same package because they're pretty much the same game with the same gimmicks with the same issues. B tier. B tier slightly above Four Swords. I have many issues with both. No. Breath of the Wild isn't Zelda. That's the thing. Four Swords is still Zelda. It's still Zelda at its very core. Breath of the Wild is not. That's the biggest difference between Four Swords Adventures and Breath of the Wild. But yeah. So Oracle of Seasons and Ages would be A tier if it wasn't so flippin' cryptic to get anything done in those games. Like, a lot of Oracle of Seasons and Ages was just backtracking to get to the right season or to the right age from the temple to be able to do anything in any kind of place. Like, it was a lot of try and error, experimentation, and backtracking, and it wasn't that fun on that front. But the concepts were pretty good still. The concept of being able to have like different seasons affecting different places, different ways, it's still a great idea. It was just executed very poorly, is all I can say. Majora's Mask. Bah! You can't say a co-op game isn't Zelda. In that case, you could say that Minish Cap isn't a Zelda either, because you control 4 different links, but they operate like the same way. They operate the same way. It's just that you have like multiple people controlling the 4 links. That's all. Alright, Majora's Mask. I released it onto A. I didn't mean to put it in A tier. I would put it in S tier below Minish Cap. Give me a moment to hydrate, stop it. Majora's Mask is an interesting game. A very good game at that. Improved on many things that Ocarina of Time did. Had a lot of interesting concepts for its gameplay loop. And a lot of darker themes that you didn't see that much into Zelda's. But objectively, like, this is not, well, no, that's not objectively, that's subjectively. Subjectively, I prefer it less than Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time is all the way up there still for me. There is something about Majora's Mask dungeons, Majora's Mask's, like, overworlds, and, like, the way it deals with Termina and the world around it, that I'm not too keen on. Like, being forced to time travel back again and again and again and again and again and redoing, like, some of the things, recollecting my collectibles, like... I like the game. I like the game a lot. It did a lot of great things. But its main gameplay loop just barely got me out of there. I really struggled to appreciate it at first. If this was like 10 to 15 years ago, I would have put it there. But the more I went on, the more I went to appreciate it a lot more, especially knowing like how much time it took to make that one. Why is Ocarina of Time so high, but Twilight Princess so low? One word: wolf. Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening. Darn good game. Darn good game. Pioneered the entire Zelda series onto the Game Boy, the Game Boy and Game Boy Color. It did so many things right in terms of its story, its dungeons, its gameplay. Even though the one thing that prevents it from being SS tier is how tedious the inventory can be. Inventory management in Link's Awakening is a pain. But considering that the Game Boy only had 2 buttons to be used for attacks and items and whatnot, it's understandable, at the very least. But Link's Awakening is still very much up there. A Link to the Past, I think this is not going to be a surprise to no one, but A Link to the Past is my favorite Zelda of all time. It's up there. It's not going to get out of the first place here. A Link to the Past is the best Zelda out there. No questions asked. Wait, what is wait, there's The Adventure of Link... What is The Adventure of Link? Is it Zelda 2? That's Zelda 2, isn't it? I'll place it in A- then. Evie is not agreeing with A Link to the Past. And is not going to agree with Zelda 2 being better than Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, or Twilight Princess. I know it. But I don't care. Zelda 2 is an underrated gem for me. There is a lot of cryptic things, and I think if it was remade nowadays, I think it could benefit from a remake, actually. Like a similar remake to Link's Awakening from a Nintendo Switch. Evie seems very happy indeed. But it did a lot of things pretty well. Like the concept of magics locking different points, and even if you didn't have them, as long as you knew and understood the game. This is so subjective, you're not even gonna try to argue. You can argue. You definitely can argue. Like, tier lists are subjective. No matter what happens, tier lists will always be subjective. Unless you have like fighting game, even fighting games. Tier lists in fighting games are also subjective. So no matter how you go about it, this will always be subjective. This is not I am right, everyone else is wrong. This is my own take on this tier list. This is not like this is objectively the best Zelda all around. But this is what I think about the Zeldas. Alright, but yeah, Zelda 2 Adventure Link, A-. A lot of cryptic things, a lot of really weird stuff that has been done, but considering when it was made and what it did back in the day, I would still recommend it. I would still play it. I love Zelda 2. Are you not sure because I'm right everybody's wrong? No. No. There. Yeah, Evie is not happy. Alright, Twilight Princess HD is too similar. Majora's Mask 3D is very similar. There is like a couple of changes here and there, but it would be pretty much the same tier. Master Quest is of course in E tier. Like there's no questions about that. Cadence of Hyrule, I have not played. I can't say. That I have no idea what this is. And I cannot rank the Hyrule Warriors. I have seen these games, but I've never played them. So I can't say, hey, these are good games, these are bad games. These aren't even Zeldas to begin with, so just I wouldn't put them into this list at all. These are like Dynasty Warriors game. These are not Zelda games. And technically, Link's crossbow training would be the same. But darn, for what it was such a fun game. Link's crossbow training was such a fun game. As much as it is not a Zelda, I will also, like, if I'm judging Breath of the Wild for not being a Zelda and all these three for not being Zeldas, this is not a Zelda either. I cannot consider this one to be a Zelda. So technically I should put it in there. But in terms of fun, it's definitely A rank. Can we be warm too? Yeah, Evie is just trying to make me warm. Make me very, very warm. Yeah, I would put in terms of fun, Link's crossbow training would be an A, but it's not a Zelda game. Zelda 2 is a Zelda game. What are you saying, Joe? There is items. Well, yeah, no, there is items. There is items. There is magics. There is dungeons. There is actual things. There is actual exploration and no, Zelda 2 is a Zelda. All right. Normally, I would put like the 3D remakes and whatnot into the same branch here. Warrior games are not Zeldas. They are Dynasty Warriors. They are Musou games. It's literally in the name. Link's Awakening, the Nintendo Switch version, was a solid A. It was not exactly the same as the normal Link's Awakening on the DS, and the inventory system was much bearable and whatnot. It lost a lot of the charm that the original game had, and I was really salty about Dampé not being, you know, an actual Zelda maker. You still get items? Not exactly. Those items don't prevent you from progressing forwards. Like, for example, if you have a wall, like a wall in Zelda, as long as you don't have bombs or you don't just glitch your way through, you can't get through that wall. Dynasty Warriors, you just smack the things. If you're not good enough, well, too bad for you. But you dropped the torch, Evie? Oh no! Don't burn your own home! Evie wants to go in the fire after seeing this this tier list. I told you, I'd take you for a wild ride. I will take you for a wild ride on this tier list. Though, one thing I wanted you to try, I really want to try Cadence Viral, because I think if I ever played it, I don't know about it, but I've seen some things about it, and I know Crypt of the Necrodancer. I think this would be a solid A tier, but again, it's not a not a Zelda game. It's a rhythm game. It's Necrodancer. It's Necrodancer. Quick, lick the fire. Who wants some fresh EV tongues? Right crisp from a house fire. All right. But yeah, this is my Zelda tier. This is the final tier for today. The final tier list for today, and my Zelda tier. Yeah, it's might or it might not. But yeah, that was fun. That was fun. I still loved being able to argue with you with some of the tiers, some of the some of the things we've talked about today. Especially Final Fantasy and Zelda and fruits. Can we go for 21 more hours? No, I have to end up early today. My throat is starting to hurt a little bit, and tomorrow is a very important day. We're going to be doing some VTuber Chibi hunts, so I will have to be there, because otherwise I will have to do this off stream, and I don't want to. I don't like drawing off stream all alone. I like to do it alongside with y'all. I like to chat with y'all. Which days do I usually stream? I usually stream from Saturday to Wednesday nowadays. Sometimes on Thursdays, but it's really rare. But yeah, Saturdays to Wednesdays, 3 to 5 days a week, and the schedule is... You can get the schedule by clicking onto the schedule panel down into the Twitch panels. I also usually tell whenever I'm going to be live onto Twitter, which should be obtainable here. Twitter? Nice, I don't have a Twitter command. I should have. I can make one quickly. Commands. Yeah, I don't have a Twitter command. That's weird. Twitter command group, global commands, actions, chat message. So this will be on Twitter, right? I'm going to be burned. I am going to be burned on the stage. If I ever send this on Twitter, I know I'm going to be completely destroyed. If I ever send this on Twitter. Alright, so let's do the command. There we go. So you can do exclamation Twitter whenever you want to get to the message. But yeah, so I usually tell whenever I'm online on Twitter or on Discord, which is right here, I think. It should work. There we go. So Discord and Twitter are often the two times when I say that I'm live. I often post my schedules onto Twitter as well. Like, where is it? 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 Right here. So tomorrow will be my VTuber chibi hunt. We're going to be drawing a VTuber I found on Twitter that we're participating in art raffles, and we're gonna have fun with that. But yeah, so that's going to be tomorrow, 10 p.m. UTC +2. That was fun. That was fun. Let's see if I can find somebody to raid you all off to. Nobody that I know that well. I can't recommend any of these games. Does anybody have a good target to raid to? Does anybody have like a good target to raid to? So I can send you all off to another beautiful person. Boing. Whoop. Let's get back to just chatting. Whee! But yeah, thank you all so much for being the wonderful people you are. I am going to, well, if there's no raid targets, I will send you all off here then. Thank you all so much. Thanks for participating with me with the tier lists here, and I will see you off tomorrow for some art and chill. Take care, you beautiful peeps. Boof.